Okay, so imagine a newborn baby, its little fingers, toes, and eyes and hands, and how it makes you ooh and ah, and how cute the baby is, and you talk about who it looks like. Well, before the baby's born, of course, it has to develop in the mother's womb, and which begins at conception. And so I just want to talk about the issue of abortion and the value of a life. The facts and figures of abortion are astounding. Murder in the world is screamed. If somebody gets murdered, it's immediately put everywhere, but abortion is kept silent. Our emotions take off when we hear that someone's been murdered or shot, and we immediately want justice served. We want to know who did it, who was the victim, and all those kind of emotions run through us. But when an abortion takes place, everybody just kind of like sits back and keeps quiet, and it's not really made a big issue about. Even the girl's friends, the girl that's just had the abortion, her friends may try to support her and be there for her and comfort her through her decision. But the people that disagree, they sit back out of a fear of crossing the line of being disrespectful and the line of telling the truth about the fact. Abortion is not discussed in the press. You'll hear many topics talked about on the news, such as crimes and politics and even things like high gas prices. And on CNN, big local news stations, things going across the nation. But you most likely will never hear them mention abortion because it's kind of swept under the carpet. It's so often performed, people just kind of don't want to talk about it because they don't know who in their presence has had an abortion, and so they don't want to offend anybody. And it's done so much now, it's kind of like accepted, which it shouldn't be accepted because it is murder. And so people are just like, oh, so-and-so had an abortion, well, that's not okay. So how can we say murder is wrong but abortion's not? Because it's like if you tell a child not to yell but then you yell, well, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth, and the child's going to be like, well, apparently it's okay to yell. So how can you say it's not okay to murder but it's okay to have an abortion, because you're just talking out of both sides of your mouth? It just doesn't add up. And we don't pay attention to those details. We're just kind of like, oh, well, abortion's a choice, murder's not. Well, no, that's not true either, because whoever murders somebody, they chose to murder them. I mean, the person didn't choose to die. And like I said, abortion is murder. It's so wrong, it's one of the 10 Commandments. God tells us, thou shalt not kill. And if God sees it important to respect each other's lives, we should see it as important. According to babycenter.com, within 3 months of the pregnancy, the baby's already 3 inches and nearly 1 ounce. And the fingerprints have already started to develop. So this is just at 3 months, 1/3 of the way through. But some states allow abortions up to 20 weeks of pregnancy, which is halfway through. So how is that not murder? God values life. He makes each one of us unique in our personalities. And Psalms 139:14 and 17 says, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them. So if God thinks of us so much and values us each personally like he does, why do we not see life as important? Some facts and figures. According to abort79.com, there was an estimated 1.21 million abortions in 2008. That's 1.21 million babies that never even had the first chance at life. In 2009, there was approximately 3,150 abortions every day. That's not every week. That's not every month. That is every day. Is your heart breaking yet? Because mine is. In Charlotte, North Carolina, the newspaper reported 52 murders in 2012. which was a 24-year low. But Examiner.com said Planned Parenthood set the record high in 2012 with approximately 995,687 abortions. Since Roe v. Wade, there's been approximately 55 million abortions. 55 million other people that should have had the chance at life, but they didn't. So abortion is a serious matter that is way too often ignored. It's, kept silent. People don't want to offend one another, whatever the case may be. So think about who you are, your job, your family, all the fun times you've gotten the privilege to have. And what if all that was stripped away from you? You never had a chance to do the first thing because you were killed while you were still in the womb. I don't think that's fair. And if God values life and each of us like He does, He values us so much and takes so much notice of us. Like in Luke 12:7, it mentions that He even knows the number of hairs on our head. Why don't we look at life just as precious and valuable?